Om Sri Sai Ram. Hearty welcome to Sri Sathya Sai Lok Seva Gurukulam online classes. I hope all of you are ready because the chapter is on energy, sources of energy. One of the energy what you are getting daily is in the form of food, right? I hope all of you are full of energy now to hear the energy lesson. Now we are coming to the last part of the energy lesson. Let us just recall what we have studied in the previous class. So we know what is energy. The capacity to do work is called as energy, and its forms as usual, solar energy, light energy, magnetic energy, electric energy, atomic energy, go on listing out. Mainly they are classified into non-renewable form of energy and renewable form of energy. But non-renewable means what? Energy, sources of energy like fossil fuels, nuclear energy, etc., which gets depleted, means it gets exhausted in a few years, are called as non-renewable energy sources. When you say fossil fuels, you have coal, petroleum, natural gas. These three are called fossil fuels. Why are they called so? They are obtained by the fossils. What are fossils? The plants or trees, age-old trees, due to rains or wind or earthquake, etc., go down to the earth, within the earth's crust. Due to high temperature and pressure, they get converted into fuels, namely coal, and when it is more heated more, it becomes liquid called petroleum. Why it is called petroleum? Petro means rock, oleum means oil, rock oil. So it is formed by the crevices of rock. Here I am reminded of one small story. You want to hear? It happens in Ramayana. And when Rama and Lakshmana was sitting on a rock, and there was a small, crack in the rock, and Rama has kept his arrow in that crack, and there was one frog inside, and that arrow has hit the frog, and it kept silent. And then what happened? After some time, when he removed the arrow, he found that the frog has been hit. Then he asked the frog, Sri Rama asked frog, why you have kept quiet? I was not seeing that this arrow is touching you. He feels sorry for that. Then do you know what answer frog gives? If anybody else would have hurted me, I would have shouted, because you are the creator of the universe. Sri Rama is Lord of the universe. When you only are, your arrow only is pinching me, to whom shall I call? He says. So what I mean to say, the crevices of the rock, there will be it may be small worms, there may be small insects, and so on. You might have seen. When you go down to the earth, you will have oil there because of high temperature and pressure. That is called petroleum. And how do you get nuclear energy? It is, what do you mean nucleus? Nucleus is the central part of the atom. What are the particles there? Protons and neutrons. And when these protons and neutrons are bound by an energy called binding energy, and this can be got by bombarding with a neutron of suitable velocity. Enormous amount of energy is released, and that is called as nuclear energy. And there is one more form. The first one what I told was nuclear fission, breaking up of heavy nucleus like uranium, thorium, etc. Another form is nuclear fusion, where light nuclei like that of hydrogen fused into helium, as you find in the stars, sun, etc. Anyway, it is non-renewable source of energy. And renewable source of energy, you have solar energy. It's continuous, inexhaustible, is it not? And you have wind energy, hydroelectricity energy, all these are renewable source of energy. And you have geothermal energy. Geo means what? Earth. Thermal means what? Heat. The heat inside the earth's surface is got, and that energy is called as geothermal energy. And then you have ocean energy. It may be in the form of waves, is it not? So, or tides even. So that source of energy, this we already studied in the previous class. Now let us come to home assignments. Which kind of mirror, concave or convex or plane mirror, would be the best suited for use in a solar cooker? You remember how solar cookers are made? It's a wooden box inside which it is black painted. All inner surface are painted black. Why should you paint black? To get more sun and solar energy. And the vessels in which the cooking material is to be kept is kept inside the box. And in the lid there will be a mirror. What kind of mirror they are asking? That is a plane mirror, used because to reflect all light falling on it to the desired place. So they kept it in an inclined way. Suppose sun is in the eastern direction, they kept like this inclined, so the rays will comes on it, get reflected to it. Okay, and suppose the sun in the western direction should turn to west. So just to make it reflected on a particular spot. What is geothermal energy? The interior or deeper regions of the earth's crust are very hot. If this heat is utilized as a source of energy, it is called as geothermal energy. As you know, earth can be compared to something like an apple. How many of you eat apple? Almost all, right? It's one of the costliest food, but very rich food. There will be one layer there, right? Outside. That is what is called, in the earth also you have got a layer outside, that is called as earth's crust. Inside that you have mantle. It is just like the juicy material in the apple. Within that you have one green color area, that is called as outer core. Inside that there is one seed of the apple, that is called inner core. So these are the 4 layers. So there will be a lot of heat energy. Lot of heat is there. So that if it is taken out, then it is called as geothermal energy. And sometimes it comes in the form of hot springs, or it may be in the form of volcanoes, etc., etc. Next question, what are limitations of energy that can be obtained from the ocean? So in ocean, when you say tidal energy, wave energy, ocean thermal energy, OTEC, these are the 3 types when you say ocean. But difference between ocean and sea, sea means limited area. We have Arabian Sea, that is called sea because area is limited. So ocean means what? Vast area. You have Pacific Ocean, we say, Atlantic Ocean, like that. So both means the same. But area of coverage, if it is more, it is called ocean. If it is less, it is called as sea. Sea means spelling is S-E-A. There is one more sea. What is that? Looking at things is called sea. S-E-E. This is not there. This is what we are referring about. Sea. So, tidal energy, now the question is limitations. Why you are not able to get suitable quantity of energy from the ocean? Answer is, sites for constructing dams across some narrow openings in the sea are limited and electricity generated is not high enough to be commercially viable. Very difficult to build dams in sea. What difficulty? Difficulty is there will be continuous waves coming. It won't stop at all. That too in full moon day, new moon day, the waves are still bigger in size. And water is very salty. There will be lot of fishes inside. All these difficulties are there. So constructing dams is a difficult process. And if you come to wave energy, the sites for the movement of ocean waves are limited, where the waves strike the shorelines with sufficient power. So, the waves must hit on the shores. For that, the area of the waves coming and hitting should be small. Then only you get more force. So, such areas we have to search, and it is very difficult to get such site. That is called site. So that is limited. We will not get good places wherein we can control the waves which can strike the shore lines. So that is another limitation in case of wave energy. Coming to ocean thermal energy. Ocean thermal energy means what? The top surface, the temperature is very high because it is directly connected to sun. Inside, water will be cool. So there is a difference in the temperature. So to harness that energy, it is highly expensive. To convert ocean thermal energy into electricity, to create a difference of more than 20 degrees Celsius between the surface of water and water at depths of 1000 meters. So production of electricity in this form, it is called as OTEC, Ocean Thermal Energy. So this ocean thermal energy is a difficult process to get a temperature difference of 20 degrees Celsius at depths of 1000 meters. To harness that energy is a tedious job. Therefore, these are the limitations of the ocean energy. Now, name two energy sources that you would consider to be renewable. Give reasons for your choice. So, energy derived from biomass is renewable because waste products are continuously produced. So, when you say waste products, it may be animal origin, or it may be plant origin. All the vegetable waste or fruit waste, all these are called plant origin. And the dead bodies or different parts of the bodies of the animals, birds, etc., they are called as animal origin. So therefore it is called as renewable source. Energy derived from flowing water. So flowing water also, and also wind, free of cost. See, whatever God gives is free of cost. The wind, the water, the sunshine, all these are free of cost. Oxygen, what you are getting now daily. We breathe about 21,600 times per day. How much of oxygen you are breathing, And not only we, about 135 crores in India, about 650 crores in the world. All of them are using oxygen. Nobody is giving tax. Nobody is giving, fees for the government, for the God, because it is His own nature. So it is free of cost. It is all pervading. So it is called as renewable source because these sources can be harnessed into energy so long as the sun exists. So whenever the sun is there, this energy can be got. And that's why it is called as renewable source of energy. And now let us see today's topic. Energy from biomass. The word bio is derived from biology. When you say biology, there are two branches mainly, botany and zoology. Botany refers to plants, zoology refers to animals. Study of animals is called as zoology. So therefore, biomass is an organic material made from plants and animals. It includes garbage, waste, industrial waste, manure. How do you get manure? It may be from natural things or it may be from chemicals. And sewage. Sewage means all dirty water after washing vessels, clothes, after bath, everything, all water will go. That's called as sewage water. And dead parts of living beings. So legs, heads and so on, dead parts. All these are called biomass. It contains stored energy from the sun. So all of them derive energy from sun. So therefore biomass is a very good source of energy because everywhere, every house has a wastage. Plant origin or animal origin. If that energy is used, it can be used for a lighting purpose, it can be used for cooking purpose and so on. And on burning biomass, the chemical energy stored in it is converted into heat energy. I think you have seen some biogas plant. Especially in villages you find two types. One is floating type. Another is fixed dome type. Two types of biogas plants are there. The thermal energy released from the biomass can be used to provide heat to industries, homes and also produce steam for generating electricity. And there is one village called as Pura. Pura. That village is in Haryana. Here all the village requirements are met by the biogas. Haryana is one of the smallest states in the country. Punjab and Haryana, they are twin. So in Haryana, there is a village called Pura. Street lights are made up of biogas. Cooking in all the houses are made up of, or they are using what is called as biomass. Lighting is done by biogas. So it is one of the cheapest ways and it is one of the safest ways and it is one of the most portable type of gas, or you can say most portable type of energy source. Therefore government also is giving lot of concession about 33% or so, and sometimes it is more than 40 also they give. So biomass can be converted into another usable forms of energy such as biogas, are also called as methane, and you have ethanol. Nothing but ethyl alcohol is called ethanol. And biodiesel, you heard about diesel. Diesel is obtained from the petroleum, one of the products of petroleum, but this is biodiesel. So biogas is used for cooking and lighting. So in most of the villages they use it, especially in villages it is very convenient because they get lot of biomass, say cow dung for example, a very good biomass. And biofuel including biogas and biodiesel is another important fuel produced from the leftover food products like vegetable oils and animal fats. So you can have biofuel also, you can have biogas also, and biodiesel also. All connected to bio means plant and animal origin. These are also important source of energy, and they can be got from the vegetable oils or animal fats. Okay. Now let us see what are the uses, advantages of using biomass. Biomass is easily available throughout the world. There is no house without biomass. Even human excreta, maybe solid or liquid, it's also biomass. Animal excreta, wastage of plants, waste vegetables, fruits, etc. So it is easily available. The residue from biomass plants can be used as manure. This is very important use. There is no wastage. As I told earlier, if we have a biogas plant, the wastage what comes out, they mix with some other dry leaves, etc. They convert into manure. See, manure is very good for growing plants. They use it for growing plants. When direct combustion of biomass is not used to generate energy, there is hardly any environmental impact. So there is no environmental effect. For example, if you take nuclear energy, there is environmental effect. The nuclear waste, it is to be disposed. It's a very tedious job. But here, there is no environmental effect. Biodiesel and other fuels produced by biomass are viable and clean source of energy. So it is very clean also. No side effects. Is it not? So these are the advantages of biogas. Coming to limitations. The biofuel or ethanol. Where do you get ethanol? Especially in sugar factory. If you go near sugar factory, say in Mandya or Pandopura or even the places like Mudhol, there are sugar factories are there. Is it not? In such places, you have to close your nose and go because of bad smell coming near the factory. What is the bad smell due to? That is due to ethanol. Even there in Almail, there is a place called Almail near Sindhgi. There also very big sugar factory is there. If you go near that, you find what is called ethanol. It's a byproduct. When they convert sugar from the sugar cane, this byproduct called ethyl alcohol will be obtained. So ethanol produced from biomass is not as energy efficient as petrol. So that is not efficient. Efficient means what? with a little quantity of petrol, you have seen thousands of vehicles on the roads. It may be two-wheelers or four-wheelers and so on. All this will run on petrol because it is efficient. Of course, the efficiency is about 35 to 40%. But in case of biogas, it is not so much efficient. Especially ethanol, which is used, is not efficient as much as petrol. If the biomass is directly burnt, it may contribute to global warming and increase in emissions, causing environmental pollution. So, when you burn this biomass, there will be release of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and even sulfur dioxide also in some cases. This all lead to environmental pollution. And how does global warming comes? Due to a gas called carbon dioxide. You might have seen in villages, especially when sugar cane, when all sugar cane things are cut, there will be some wastage. All this wastage they burn off. You might have seen huge mass of smoke coming up. And that smoke is nothing but carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide lead to what is called as global warming. Warming means what? Getting heated up. Why it is called global warming? Because production of carbon dioxide, more carbon dioxide, which will heat, when the more there is carbon dioxide, there will be lot of heat produced. So this heat will cause what is called as warming. And it is said that if such heat is more produced in the earth, see, for example, Himalaya, lot of ice is blocked there. If the temperature of earth is increased, the Himalayan ice will start melting. And what happens if Himalaya ice start melting? All North India will be merged in water. The Ganges, the Yamuna, Brahmaputra, everything will be overflowing. And suppose the ice in Greenland that melts due to global warming. What happens? Countries like Canada, USA, and this side Europe countries, all will be merged in the water. The danger is there. And that's why global warming should be controlled. Means production of carbon dioxide to be controlled. And methane, which is the main ingredient of biofuel, is harmful to the environment. So this is one gas, namely methane, which comes out in the biogas plant, is harmful for the environment. Biomass is a relatively expensive source for generating energy. So it is costly also, biomass, because you have to construct things. And coming to, so next, future source of energy. As we discussed in the previous classes, all these fossil fuels will come to a grand halt after say 30 years or 40 years. And you may ask what will happen to our cars, vehicle and all. Everything should stop. No availability of petrol or diesel or kerosene, etc., etc. Why? The rate of consumption now has alarmingly increasing. So what is the solution? Again, you must go back to the olden cycles or jatkas, horse or the bullock carts and so on. Because there is eco-friendly there. When there is no supply of this, now all the scientists of the world are thinking about hydrogen. It is the most abundant in the nature. And it is available in new universe also, because stars and galaxies will have a lot of hydrogen. So natural hydrogen is always associated with other elements in compound form as water. Formula is H2O, 2:1 ratio. And coal also contains hydrogen. Petroleum also. They are called hydrocarbons. The products of petroleum are called hydrocarbons. So these hydrocarbons invariably contain hydrogen. So scientists are cracking their heads to get more and more hydrogen for vehicles. It will be very environmentally friendly source of energy. The use of hydrogen help in reducing the emission of greenhouse gases and other pollutants. Greenhouse gas means what? Carbon dioxide. Because hydrogen, when you use it, there is no production of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, etc. The same amount of hydrogen will take a fuel cell car at least twice as fast as cars running on petroleum. Suppose our cars are going at 120 kilometers, it may go with 200 to 250 kilometers per hour when you use hydrogen. So that is the meaning. At least twice, because it is a very light gas. Hydrogen is a very light gas and it is available in plenty. So that is what they think of. But there are some limitations, serious questions on its production, storage, distribution. To produce means, suppose water, if you want to get hydrogen from water, it has to be decomposed. When water decomposes, it forms hydrogen and oxygen. So this decomposition for decomposition into hydrogen and oxygen is a very costly affair. And storage also difficult, because hydrogen is a combustible gas. What do you mean combustible? Combustible means it burns of its own accord. Distribution also very difficult. There will be leakage. If any small hole or any loose connection means, it will be leading to leakages. Therefore, distribution also difficult. To liquefy hydrogen, large amount of energy is needed. You have to cool it down. Then only it takes the form of liquid form. You have liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen, liquid nitrogen, etc. For that, lot of energy is needed. Now let us discuss about transformation of energy. So according to conservation of energy, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. That is called law of conservation of energy. And what it can do? It can be changed from one form to another. For example, the food has got chemical energy stored in it. When you start doing work, it gets converted into kinetic energy. So if you want to lift a object, so this is kinetic energy. It was potential there and lifted it become kinetic. And how do you get this energy? Because of eating food. You are playing games. Is it not? Bowling, batting, fielding, wicket keeping and so on. All these need energy. And some of you are falling. Knowingly, unknowingly fall during games time. That also require energy. So energy can be converted into one to another form. So food can be used for many other purposes. In vehicles, the engine changes the chemical energy into heat and kinetic energy to power the car. So what do you do in petrol stations? You might have seen. They will have a pipe and there will be a tank, petrol tank or diesel tank. You say how much you want, say 2000 rupees. So 2000 rupees the meter will show. The tank will be filled with the pipe. Is it not? And that is called as chemical energy. Petrol or diesel or etc. etc. They are called chemical energy. So when the vehicle, after closing the lid, when it starts moving out, it converts into heat energy and kinetic energy. Kinetic energy means vehicle moves from one place to another. Heat energy because it is combustion engine. There will be inside what is called as internal combustion engine. Because of this energy, the car will move from one place to another. Is it not? So, transform of energy means transferring from one form to another. In thermal power plant, the chemical energy of coal is transformed into heat energy and then to mechanical energy of turbine, finally into electric energy in generators. So, the electric energy so produced is transformed into heat, light, sound or mechanical energy in cities and houses. So, here in thermal power plant, we discussed it already. Where you got in Karnataka? In Raichur, right? In Raichur, you have a Shakti Nagar. The name of the place is called Shakti Nagar. You have thermal power plant. So, there the coal is converted into heat. After burning, it gets converted to heat. Then it produces electricity. Is it not? And that electricity is used for heating purpose, lighting purpose, sound and all mechanical energy, etc. The water stored in dams and reservoirs. I think all of you have seen dams, right? So, lot of water is stored there. That's why dams are put. If you go to Almaty, you can find a very beautiful dam there. Do you know the name? Lal Bahadur Shastri Reservoir. So nice. And these dams are constructed such that it is in between the hillocks. So in that process, lot of villages will be submerged. Therefore, in Bagalkote, if you go there, there will be new Bagalkote come up. All the people who are in the villages nearby are shifted to Bagalkote city. Then a new Bagalkote comes. So, water stored in dams and reservoirs has potential energy. This converted into other forms of energy. In some of the dams, they converted into, for example, if you take Linganmakki, the potential energy of the water is made use of into kinetic energy. Then rotation of turbines by which it goes to generators and electricity is produced. A television changes electric energy into light and sound. Audio, visual, both are there in TV. In radio, only audio. So, what is the source of energy there? Electrical. So, if electricity is there, everything works out. And if electricity fails, you will have what you call UPSC. Or you can have batteries. With the help of batteries, you can get all different forms of energy required for the TV or radio, etc., etc. And law of conservation of energy already studied in the previous class. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transformed from one form to another. And this energy, the demand of energy is more than the supply, then it is called as energy crisis. So, crisis of energy comes. If the demand is more and supply is less, we got energy crisis. Now in India, we have got a lot of energy crisis, is it not? And it is in other countries also. So, what are the reasons? Over dependence on limited and exhaustible source of energy, such as coal, petroleum, etc. So, you can find every house will make use of this coal and petroleum one way or other. And that's why there is a lot of energy crisis because the sources are limited. Increasing gap in the demand and supply of the energy. Demand is more, supply is less. That's why there is crisis. Ever increasing prices of the energy and fuel from the other countries. The cost is increasing. Now petrol has crossed 105 rupees. Is it not? Because demand is very high and you are not getting sufficient quantity. Is it not? Reluctance in using renewable source of energy such as solar, wind, bioenergy, etc. People have got little allergy to use solar, even though it is very eco-friendly. They are reluctant to use it. Even wind energy also, other day we discussed about windmills and bioenergy also. Even though it is very good, people are not making up their mind. Overuse and misuse of the available source of energy. We are misusing it. Lot of energy. For example, in your house, you make a list how much wastage of energy you there. You will switch on the light and go off. Nobody will be there to read or write. Is it not? They will on the TV from morning till evening, it gone telling. Nobody to set. Of course, a few minutes or few hours they may sit. But most of the time it will be simply moving. In water taps also, lot of water will be wasted. So there is lot of misuse and overuse of energy is also there. All these lead to what is called as energy crisis. And how to control this? It is believed that one possible solution to India's energy problem is nuclear power. So by increasing nuclear power, it can produce more electricity, which solves most of the problems. The use of renewable source of energy like solar power, wind power, etc. are to be promoted. So government must support. If you go to a place called Pavagada, it has got a very good, largest in Asia. Large area have been converted into solar panels, by which solar power is produced, that is used for production of electricity all over. Even wind energy also. In places like Chitradurga, in Tirupati, Kanyakumari, etc. The wind energy, windmills. Of course, the condition is you should have proper winds. If wind is not proper, you can't get it. But anyway, if you promote such wind energy, windmills, it can to some extent solve the energy crisis. Being an agriculture nation, we could have come up with a more indigenous solution to produce ethanol and biofuel from sugarcane and vegetable oils. So, India can think of producing more and more of ethanol and biofuel from sugarcane. So, these are some of the solutions for the energy crisis. And conservation of energy, we already discussed now, the key for resolving the country's energy crisis lies with us citizens. We should not only judiciously use energy sources, but save energy as much as we can. As students, how we can say, Baba says, ceiling on desires. Don't waste time. Come on, repeat. Don't waste money. Don't waste food. Don't waste energy. Means talking. Boys and girls, you should control talking. So your energy will be conserved, right? So we as citizens of the country, we must judiciously, means carefully, use the energy sources. So some of the tips, of course you also know, you can also make a big list. Switch off lights, fans and other appliances when not in use. That you can do in your house. Even tap also, water taps also should not be left open. Nowadays new type of taps have come, pressing type. If you have the opening type, even monkeys also will open and go off. You know that? In Mudinali area, a lot of monkeys are there. What they do, they open the tap, drink water, and after drinking, leave it and go. Then somebody must see it and stop it. For that, solution is pressing type. Pressing type means there is no wastage of water. While cooking rice, dal, etc., the vessel should be remain covered. And for cooking, only the required quantity of water should be used. should not misuse water. Okay, and there are some boys or girls who will take lot of water for bathing. Should not misuse. Even though there is sufficient water coming in the tap, you are not supposed to misuse it. Okay, so these are some of the tips. And if you know how to control judiciously, one more way is saving energy is to use of more efficient appliances. For example, LED light or fluorescent light, compact fluorescent light, much more efficient than tube light or bulb. Nowadays everywhere LEDs have come. What do you mean LED? Light emitting diode. It's a very good energy saving device. Light emitting diode is a very small device, but it saves lot of electrical energy. And what is CF? F means fluorescent, C means compact. So compact fluorescent lamps, they can be replaced for bulbs. Better quality of stoves, fuel efficient vehicles should be used. Vehicles also, no, we have to make different varieties of vehicles. Nowadays they use what is called solar vehicles and electrical vehicles. Public transport system, for example factories, schools, institutions, etc. Instead of having two-wheelers, if one bus is there, you can take 50 members. So otherwise, you have to use 50 motorbikes or scooters. So 50 bikes and scooters can be replaced by one bus. Preferable instead of individual vehicles to the working areas like factories, in institutions, etc. to save more energy. So of course, most of the factories do so. But most of the institutions also do. You might have seen yellow color bus. But the yellow color stands for school bus. Now coming to the home assignment, what do you mean by energy crisis? List the possible reasons for energy crisis. Why should we save energy? What do you mean by the statement energy can neither be created nor be destroyed? Compare and contrast biomass and hydroelectricity as sources of energy. Okay, come prepared. Thank you.